Alright guys, just finished up 18 slingshots for my son's wedding. Got one left over I kept for myself. Stay tuned and I'll show you the process and then we'll shoot this one a little bit. So hang out with me for just a few minutes. Alright guys, so I finished up all the slingshots. There's 18 in total. Um, Gave all the groomsmen some, all the little ring bearers some, his new father-in-law one, and just some other guys some of the slingshots. And didn't get a chance. We were running out of time. I was actually banding them up the night of the rehearsal, and he was putting them in bags as soon as I was banding them up. So didn't get to show a lot of that. Got some you'll see half scenes where I put this segment in the video. But just gonna show you this one. This one, for some reason, well, just let me show you the color first. It turned out the colors were great. That kind of looks like a buckeye right there. But I got this plywood from two bed rails somebody was gonna throw away, and it just turns out they were really nice. This one, for some reason, if you look, my fork tips one's bigger than the other. So it kind of, I don't know how that happened. It just, I guess I got in a hurry. So I kept this one, and I had to put a little filler in it. You can see right here, there was a gap. So I put a little sawdust and wood glue there and sanded it out smooth. So this one has some defects, so I kept it myself. We'll see if it shoots straight or not, but it all depends on the shooter, as you know. It's about, I don't know, a little over 100 mil wide. It's a good wide one. I've got some simple shot .5 tapered from 20 to 15 on there. Got a pit pouch and some Walmart clay. So as squirrel season starts in a week or so, I need to swap over my bands and put some of my .6s and .7s on there and start shooting some heavier uh, ammunition. Get used to shooting that. But anyway, let's see. I don't know if you can see it or not down there, but I have a Dr. Pepper can right there. There's a bell down there, and there's a little bitty skillet. And all I found those little bitty cast iron skillets. I bought two for $3.50 at a little flea market deal. So anyway, got some of those down there. I don't know if you can see them or not, but we're gonna give them a rip. And I usually miss my first shot. If y'all watched any of my videos, I always miss my first shot. But we're gonna try to hit that Dr. Pepper can. I'm about 45, 50 feet. Hit it. It's fun to cut a can with this clay. It takes longer, but and I'm not gonna sit here and cut the whole can. I'm just gonna shoot you, but it shoots good. So I've been requested to build about 20 slingshots for a special occasion as gifts, and I have some leftover. It was actually a bed rail, but it's birch plywood. It's 1 inch birch plywood, and I got this one here, and got a great big one here that I'm going to use to work on getting them roughed out today. So may not do a lot of talking, but I've got some got 3 patterns here that I'm going to do. This is 100 wide. This is actually an XO the XO pattern that I've widened to 100 wide, and this is one that I designed myself. It's got a little block angles to it. It's 100 wide, and it holds pretty good when it's all said and done. This is just a standard old uh, slingshot, just very symmetrical with I think it's 85. So just gonna start making them, roughing them and laying them out, and seeing how much I can get out of my scraps before I get into my longboard and go from there. So y'all hang with me. Just gonna have enough on this one. I usually talk to myself when I'm working, and now I got an excuse. If somebody comes out here in my mess of a garage slash shop and hears me talking, I can say, well, I'm filming. So they won't think I'm too crazy. This thing barely fits on this block. But we're going to make it work. Get one out of this one anyway. Alrighty. Now, if you can see it, I just did get it on there. See, this actually has some really good grain. Once you sand it down and everything, it actually they turn out pretty good, but it's just a little thick. I wish it was 3/4, but it's an inch. I'd have to do a little more sanding. But my bandsaw just will fit 90. And a lot of the stuff I do is 100 millimeter. So I have to do a lot of sanding when I can't get it to cut in there. So get in there. But let's get her going. I need a new blade too. My blade is pitiful, but we're gonna make it work, I hope. All right, let's get it and see what we can do on the get what we get done on the belt sander. First thing I like to do is take that varnish off of that side. Let's get that done, and then we'll see which layer I want to go to. Alright, so I got the varnish off of that side. And now, looking at it, looks like my bandsaw got a potential problem. You can see my tips look pretty good on this side when you turn it around. Show y'all something pretty neat. As I was going through there thinning out my width, if you look, you can see where the plywood was pieced together in there. So I got a green piece and then a plain piece right there. If I can keep that, that's going to look pretty cool. So I'll narrow down my neck and all here and see how that looks. But that's pretty interesting how that piece of plywood got put together in there. But anyway, let's keep at it. All right, it's coming along. Got it rounded out down in here pretty like it narrow because I like to wrap my fingers in there and it just fits. I like the shape of that. I gotta finish all that bottom end out, but and then I'll get a Dremel or something and get in there. I don't have a spindle sander. I wish I did. That'll be coming up on my next purchase. Looking like got a little bit more to take off on this side. It's not, if you can tell, it's a little thicker right there, but I'll take it down. You can get this plywood. You can look at the layers and see the thicknesses across there, and it helps you a lot in there figuring out how to get it all symmetrical or whatnot. But let me take some more off of this side to get it all looking kind of square, and then I'll finish rounding it off. All right, getting pretty close to having it completely roughed out. I think it's going to be some pretty neat color patterns on this dude. We'll see once we get it oiled up and whatnot. I think what I'm fixing to do now, though, is make sure I get these tips squared off. Let me measure them and make sure they're going to be right. Put it on here on my disc sander. Get it square there. Just hit it just. Alright, so I know they're square, so let me go measure them and see what kind of width we ended up with. With my great big old yardstick. So that one looks like it's dead on 19. Get over here, you can see me. So this one, pretty much right at 18 or 19. And this one is too. That's going to work good. I get everything sanded out of the center in there and go from there. So I got that one. Got it roughed out, ready to hand sand. So let me cut out some more and get them kind of to this point, and we'll go from there. Catch y'all in just a little bit. All right, so I laid out some more on this piece of old bed railing. It's 1 inch thick birch plywood, and I don't know if you can see it. I got a glare coming at me from the vehicle parked out there. But anyway, counting the first one I did, I'm gonna get about 13 off of this one. Got to be careful on these bed rails because they got bolts through them, and you got to be careful where you lay your slingshots out. But on the last two on here, hope you can see what I did. I did a hybrid. I did my Wasp XO 100 millimeter template, and then I put a longer handle on it. So what I did was just to experiment. What I did was I took this template that I made, the Wasp XO template, the shape, but made it 100 wide. And then I took this one that's got an 85 millimeter wide, this template, and added to the length. So just made a longer handle. We're gonna see how that goes. But anyway, just to cut these out and get them kind of roughed out, and I doubt I'll get finished with that today. It's already about, I don't know, 3 o'clock or so, and Southwest Mississippi, it is hot even in the shade. But I'll get some of them cut out and just bring y'all along on the way as I hit milestones on getting these done. And just thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you when I get to the next step. All right, good morning, everybody. Uh, I think my microphone is going out on me. I don't know if it's my battery or what, so I hope you can hear me all right. I've got all these slingshots that I've started sanded up to a 220 grit, and I'll show you a few of them and just tell you how I came about these designs or whatever. Um, these guys that are round and wide are actually a Wasp XO pattern, but I widened it out to like 100 millimeter. And then here's a Titan Hunter design from Catapult Carnage. I got just a regular, simple old, chalice, I guess, type frame here, and you can tell it's a little wonky. Almost looks like a natural fork. All of these have a little bit of imperfection. I've made them all by hand. This one I actually was just kind of throwing some ideas together. I think I've already showed you that in the previous part of the video, but it looks like an inverted house inside the fork, and that actually holds pretty good. But anyway, I got them all up to 220, and I'll go ahead and say why I'm making all these. My number two son is getting married in a couple weeks, and a few weeks ago he asked me if I would make slingshots for his groomsmen and ushers and ring bearers and some other folks. And so that's what I'm doing. I got them ready to do some string grooves. I mean string grooves. Thinking about making bows. Some band grooves in, and I'm gonna start that today and try to get those done. And then when I get those done, he's going to burn their initials in it. And I'm not giving anything away yet because I won't post this video till after the wedding. Uh, some of those guys are subscribed to my channel, and they're a great bunch of guys and whatnot. And I tell you what, Lord blessed me with some good sons. I got 4 of them. My oldest is 27. He's an engineer, married, got me my first grandchild. Number 2's getting married in a couple of weeks. He's 23, works for a chemical company and takes care of wastewater from a paper mill. Number 3 be 21 when this video is put out, and he's surrendered to the ministry. He's a youth minister, going to college right now for that. And number 4, he's 14. He's in 9th grade, and he's tough as a lighter knot. He's had 3 older brothers to train him up, but he is great as well. Got I know the Lord's got great things for him to do coming up and whatnot. But he's had 3 older brothers to train him, and he keeps life interesting for us. But anyway, let's put some string grooves. I'm stuck on bow making. I guess I need to make a bow. Put some band grooves in here, and what I usually do is I just take a old rat tail file, chainsaw file, and just start easing around. I start on the corners and work my way around. But the first thing I do, the way I like to do these is I put a groove all the way across the front, and then I just do the corners in the back. And the way I do that is I just feel whichever way feels the best. You ever done that? You ever just closed your eyes and that right there, that's going to be it. So this will be the front. And I just start on the corner, get about, I don't know, 1/4, 1/8 of an inch. Let her go. And then I'll just start rotating it. Once I get a good start in that corner, I'll keep the same distance from the top and just work my way to the front. And I'm not going to sit here and make y'all watch all of these at all, but I'll do this first one just to kind of show you. And then it'll take me a while to get them all done. May not finish them all this morning. You can see how I get started there. And what I'll do is I'll widen that out a little bit, and then I'll take some 220 sandpaper and get in there and make it pretty and uniform as I can. So like I say, these are handmade. They all have some imperfections, and I think isn't it Hillbilly Slings that says perfectly imperfect? Well, if you've ever made anything by hand, you know there's always going to be something, especially working with natural material, that'll stand out. But get this a little deeper. What I like to do is go through that first layer of ply. About like that. You can see it right at the end there. There you go. All right. Let me get busy. I got a lot to do. And I'll catch up with y'all in just a little bit. All right, everybody. So all these slingshots that I've been making, I told you, I think in the last clip, that I got them up to 220. Well, grit, and I I wet them after that, and I sand them again with 220, and they're all ready to get oiled up. It's just a few days before the wedding, and I'm in a time crunch, so I'm trying to get through with these. So what I've got is I've got a little plastic bowl with boiled linseed oil in it, and just an old cut up rag. And what I do is I just wipe the dust off of it, sawdust or whatever, and then I just soak it in this thing of linseed oil for just a few minutes. Dunk it in there good, make sure it's covered completely. Wait a little bit, and while it's soaking in, you'll see here in a minute, I've got some fishing lines from my shave horse and all the way to my bandsaw over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. You'll see when I walk over and hang it up. But the little shop area in my carport here is a mess. So after this wedding, one of the first things I'm going to do is clean it up. Number one son got married and moved off a few years ago, and they just bought a new house, and he came and got some of his stuff out from under here. Number two son's getting married this coming Saturday, and he's gonna get some of his stuff out from under here. He's already got a lot of it, but he got some more left in here. And once they get all that out of here, I'm gonna try to shape this up a little bit. But it looks like a bomb went off in a hardware store in here, so y'all forgive me for what it looks like. But I've been busy with these slingshots. So now after soak for a minute, I just gonna pick it up and let it drip as much of it off as I can, save as much of that oil as I can. And I'll bring it over there to you and show you what this linseed oil does to the grain. Linseed oil to me just brings out the grain. And this plywood that I'm using, I got two pieces of it, and I hope I can find some more like it because it's got this green type color layered in it. And I'll show you here in just a second what that turns out to be. I'll do another one. I'll bring a close up of what I'm going to do here like this one. But I'll take it out, wipe the excess oil off, and let me bring this over and show you. That's kind of what it looks like. I love the side too. The grains in the side where it just brings it out. But anyway, let me hang this one up to dry, and then I'll show you a before and after on the next one. I got me some thumbtacks strung out like trot lines from my shave horse to my bandsaw, and actually on past over there in case I get a lot more done. I just take that thumbtack. You see what I'm doing? Take that thumbtack and just stick it in the bottom of there pretty good and let it hang to dry. So let me show you before and after on the next one. So this one is one that I was just kind of messing around with. I didn't really have a pattern to go by. And I made this little house, upside down house shape. And I actually kind of made it tried to make it a little ergonomical. And that little dude holds really good. I like it. I'm going to have to make some more of those. But you see the green type shape, the shade of ply here. You see where the two came together, and it makes it kind of unique. Some more green there in the sides, and then I'm gonna bring it back to you here in just a second after I soak it in that linseed oil for just a minute. Just dunk it. I'll turn it over here in just a second. While that's soaking, I'll show you something else I'm working on. For some reason, I'm gonna do a video here in the next few days after this wedding's over with and get some more time. Just how we evolved shooting over time. Man, I started shooting a few years ago, and the 90 millimeters, I couldn't hit nothing with it. And ordered a large Titan Hunter and was able to just really start getting more accurate with that, a wider frame. So I started shooting right wider frames and building wider frames. And here in the last month or so, I was just started toting that wasp tomahawk around with me and shooting it, just carrying a pocket full of clay and shooting it, and just was getting more consistent with it. Let me turn this over. Was getting more consistent with it. So while I was sitting there making all these slingshots the last couple of weeks, I just kind of drew out a wooden tomahawk, and it's not near about done, but I'll show y'all that when I get it finished eventually. But I don't know why. I just started just been shooting 90s a lot better lately. Y'all may find that same thing, that as the more you shoot, your styles may change. I don't think I've changed anything, but it's surely different. I can tell a difference. All right, let's get this one out, and I'm gonna show it to you. The difference. Wipe the excess off. Got a bunch of cedar naturals down there somebody gave me. I'll show you while I'm drying this off. Got a bunch of cedar folks gave me. I'm gonna be working on those eventually. But so look what this green did. The green side of this, or green shade. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Like I say, I've got a little bit of this plywood left, so I'm gonna be kind of stingy with it on what I'm making, but I just like it. It works really good. It works good, gets smooth, has a good finish. So let's put this one up. I tell you what, guys, I got about, I don't know, 11 or 12 more of these to do. I'm not gonna make you suffer through it, but that's what I'm doing. I'm dunking them in linseed oil, let them soak for a little bit, hanging them up on my little drying trot line over here, right over there. And once they get dried, I will put a few coats of clear coat on it, satin clear coat. And when that gets done and dried, I'll put 2 or 3 coats of that on there, and then I'll take some fine steel wool and run over it and get it really smooth and slick, where it feels good and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, stay tuned. Next clip will be getting finished up and banded up, I hope. So see y'all in a few minutes.